Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be talking about the free comic book day Blood Hunt #1 special. We also will we'll have a different video to go over the Uncanny X-Men preview. That's also a part of this book. Stay tuned for that. So, if you were not able to pick up this issue of Blood Hunt in free comic book day, we're gonna go over this. We're gonna give you a little bit of the insight as to what's going on so that you're all current to make sure to catch up on the Blood Hunt. All right, so here is our issue of Blood Hunt. As I mentioned, I have a separate video for the Uncanny X-Men preview. Um, let's get into it. So before we start, let me go to the back because that's where the credits are. So this is the Nightfall story for Blood Hunt, written by Jed MacKay with art by Sara Pichelli, who is amazing Spider-Man artist. Federico Blee on colors, letters by Travis Lanham. Really cool stuff. So this is Nightfall. Now, what does this mean? Let's take a look. So for those that have read Nightfall, or for those that have read Blood Hunt, you'll probably know that something somehow any villain or any person in the world that uses the dark force powers, their powers have been drained from them, they've kind of evaporated, and they have now blocked out the sun. So this is a story that happens prior to Blood Hunt #1. As you can see in Manhattan, we have Dr. Dark versus Spider-Man. Spider-Man, of course, being his quippy self. But as Spider-Man punches Dr. Dark, he goes into a tornado. Now, obviously, Spider-Man, this was not his doing, right? This was not his intent. But here's where we see what's going on. Now, this is the Fantastic Four are also alerted about this incident. And of course, the first thing they do is they think of the negative zone. Now, that may not be fully the case, but either way, Reed Richards does discover that it is something to do with the Dark Force dimension. Now, one of the coolest things that happened in this issue, I think, we have in Hell's Kitchen, Daredevil, obviously, he can't see what's going on, but his radar lets him feel that something's going on, right? That's really cool. He talks about that in the narration. And then we see here that he starts kicking ass from the vampire. So if we go back to the previous page, you can see in the background here, maybe it's not very clear on camera, and you can see in the background of both that the dimension, the tornado of energy that we saw in the Spider-Man part. And then, as I mentioned, of course, Daredevil jumps into action. We also see Bloodline because, of course, Bloodline had to be part of this event. And I think the coolest part here, now, for those that don't know, Bloodline is Blade's daughter. She was introduced in her own series. Go check it out if you want to know more. But of course, she has to be introduced because vampires are running around killing people. And the coolest part here is the reintroduction of Dracula. Now, Dracula is going to have his own tie-in. But yeah, here we are. Dracula's here. Obviously, something's going on that is beyond his control, and he has to step in. So, the first issue of Blood Hunt is now on sale. We have a video on the channel about the differences between Blood Hunt and the red band variant of it, which is even more gruesome and bloody. We have some Deadpool advertisement, and then the rest of the story is the X-Men stuff, which I'll cover in a different video. So stay tuned for that. So there you have it. This is the Blood Hunt #1 event from Marvel. Uh, so if you weren't able to pick this up, this is what you missed out on. Hopefully that helps a little bit, put things into context. Uh, if you can, a lot of stores sometimes they still have some of these issues, especially from the big two publishers. They're able to get them. They might have a few extras, so hopefully you can pick one up. But let me know, what do you think of this story? What do you think of this setup so far? The key players that are being introduced here. I'm specifically very excited about both Bloodline and Dracula, and I think Daredevil jumping into the fray too. That was really cool. So let me know what you thought about this issue. Let me know what you think of Blood Hunt. If you're reading that, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.